From unlimited monarchy to limited monarchy, Africa seems to have transitioned from unlimited monarchy to limited monarchy. Before colonization, African countries were ruled by kings. Those kings were considered extraordinary characters because they were said to be born with seeds in their hands. That was not true, but it was like cunning tricks that they played on their citizens so as to keep themselves or their families on power, so as to keep their privilege. When colonizers came in Africa, they taught African people, and African people became aware of their competencies, talents, and abilities. They started discovering that what the kings used to tell them was not correct, was not right. That's how a new regime started. Republic. When colonizers left Africa, when African countries got their independences, Africa was ruled by presidents. Even though we got another regime, the Republic, the president kept the mindset of the kings. They kept it in their mind that they had to rule forever. But because the citizens, African people, were somehow aware of their rights, their abilities, their competencies, they could not allow them to rule forever. That's how coup d'etat were driven. That's how armed movements were created against the dictatorial rulership, dictatorial regimes that were ruling Africa. After some years, like in the 90s, it was a moment of democracy. Democracy started being talked about from Western countries. Then some parties, some pro-democracy parties were created. And that's how something like elections started in Africa. African people started electing, voting their rulers. But even though it was like that, the African people were only allowed to vote their rulers, but they were not allowed to criticize their rulers. So it was like a kingdom which has terms, which is limited. So once a president is elected, once a president is appointed on power, he had to rule however he wanted. Nobody had to criticize him. Even if one tries to criticize them, they were killed or jailed. This is what we are still undergoing now in Africa. And Africans seems to understand it, seems to take it as a normal. If you are criticizing the ruling party, or if you are criticizing the government, you are considered a traitor. And when the rulers kill you, when they jail you, when they make you flee your countries, the citizens take it as a normal. They say, you deserve that. So the rulers we have now, even though we say that we are in democracy, the rulers we have now behave like kings. They kept their supreme power on the citizens. The only thing the citizens have is to vote the rulers. After voting, all the power is in the hands of the rulers. Whether they kill you or they let you free, whether they build the country, their nations, or they demolish their nations, the citizens of Africa say that they have to rule until the end of their terms. While in the real democratic countries, when a ruler finds that he's not accomplishing his promises, when a ruler finds that the citizens are fed up with him, they leave the power, they resign. In Africa, we say, if a ruler is elected, if a president is elected, he has to rule until the end of his term, which is wrong. This is not democracy. Because democracy is the rule of the people, for the people, and by the people. So if then you don't allow your citizens to to criticize you, to decide, you are not a democratic ruler. In few words, Africa has never changed, has never transitioned from kingdom to democracy, from dictatorial regimes to democratic regimes. The system has always been the same. What has changed is only the time, the period during which a ruler rules.